Okay, it is now Impact. But before I get started, there's something I gotta say here. I don't get huge amounts of comments, but I do have to say something about this comment. Which actually, look, yesterday, if you saw my Dynamite review, or today actually, I was so pissed off on how badly they were booked. This was not about if I hate AEW, or I love TNA, or I love Silver Lake WWE, because it's Silver Lake. It's not WWE. It doesn't exist anymore. This, and also TNA is Anthem TNA, but you get my point. But this is about wanting the best for not only the fans, but the wrestlers too. Let's make this very clear. If you looked at Dynamite on Wednesday, and you saw Moxley and Hangman Page be the second match of the show, not the last match, which is, understand, I want to educate you, just in case you don't know. Historically, whether it was in the 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, 2010s, usually if you want to make your champion, no matter if you're a man or woman, feel important, you usually, if you have to do a match, which is supposed to be high profile, you wait until a pay-per-view or a PLE. But if you want to do it on your show, you would do it at the end of the show. Usually would do it. Sometimes, not every time, but sometimes, like WCW did it. I know MLW's done it. I know NWA and Raw has done it. Even TNA and Impact Wrestling has done it. They will sometimes put the champion as the first match, which is nothing wrong with that either. But as long as you don't do it constantly. We got that match as the second match of the show. And the last match, which I'm happy to see Mark Briscoe get something, but this is more about MJF. And I did not feel right about it at all, and it pissed me off beyond stink. And someone said I was lying through my damn teeth. I left a basic comment saying basic how. And I'm thinking this. I care about TNA. I care about AEW. I care about WWE. I may always be very critical of them, but I gotta say the truth. And it's better to be truthful than lie. All these companies have flaws in them, and all of them have good and bad. And there's nothing wrong with announcing them. If you can't handle what I say and you call me a bold-faced liar, then I think you have an issue, not me. Now, this is not meant to piss off that person who left the comment. They haven't said nothing since the comment was put up, the one I put up, explaining my thoughts why, repeating what I just did now. But I say this to anyone who thinks the same way. Explain why having the champion and the challenger as the second match on a Dynamite, when they should have either opened the show and been a heater for the entire show, or at the end of the show, you could say that. Or better yet, wait until Forbidden Door and make them both have meaning. Both Jon Moxley and Hangman Page. Give me a reason why. Other than maybe Jon Moxley's injured and he just wanted to do this match and take a break. Just in case. Now, what did we get here in TNA? We actually got good storytelling. It wasn't great storytelling, but it was good storytelling that's leading into Emergence, which also is going to bleed over into Bound for Glory, which we're going to be getting soon. Let me give it to you like this. The three-way X Division match, which was unexpected. It wasn't like it was scheduled. I don't remember being scheduled last week. It wasn't announced on the show. Of course, I don't watch X. I don't check it. I don't check Instagram either. So you say it was on Instagram or X. I don't go on X or Instagram. I just don't. So if it was announced there, that's understandable. But I didn't know anything about it, so it was a surprise to see it. And I'm not saying that's bad either, because historically TNA used to do that. They would just do an impromptu match. They would try an announcement on what social media that was on at the time. But if they were going to do an impromptu match, they would just do it. And it was a good match. Cedric Alexander versus the current champ with Hunch as well. And Hunch ate the pin. But I'm not surprised he ate the pin. And I want to make it clear. That match was a very good match. It looked let me give it to you like this. When it comes to Leon Slater, I really do like him. He feels more developed, personality-wise, than most wrestlers are. Now, is he a perfect high-flying wrestler? No. You can always say that Cedric could be way better than him, even though Cedric is a little more heavier, and he's got more muscle because they wanted more muscle in WWE. So he put more muscle on, then he would staying lean. But the match was good. Hunch was not bad. Cedric was fine, and Leon was fine. And what do we get in the back? Little banter between the two, saying, "Hey, I want that." Well, technically, I'll give you like this. Leon was treated with respect, but he made it very clear, you did not pin me, so you don't have a win over me, and I deserve a shot on my own. And Leon made it clear, yeah, you're right, but I still won. So he wanted to make it clear, yes, I accept that you didn't get pinned, and if you want a match, I'll give it to you. But you don't need to be rubbing it in that I didn't pin you when I won the damn match. That's how it was. Next, the second match. I'm a little confused about where they're going to go with this. Because you got Ariana Grace and Jody Threat versus two women that supposedly Victoria Crawford is not interested in a Danny Luna and Indy Hartwell. So where are we going with that one? I'm a little confused on it. Who is going to be the heel here? Because there was no heels here. There were no heels. None. There were, in fact, when you see Danny Luna fall out of the ring, and due to the fact that Ariana Grace was sitting her little fat ass on the damn rope, and that's not meant to be disrespectful to her. She's got a nice ass. But you get my point. It wasn't like she was cheating on purpose. She was not. She was actually just wrestling. But now you got Danny Luna, and you get... I'm really wondering if they're really going to pull the trigger, possible trigger, on Jody Threat turning heel. Because this is what it looks like to me. This is what the situation looks like. You got Jody Threat, who is not with Danny Luna anymore. They were having a problem just trying to face one another at first in the ring. Jody did not want to face her. And then when Danny fell out the ring because of Ariana Grace sitting on the rope, she really didn't want to take advantage of it. So it's hard to tell where they're going to go with Jody because they're doing a story with Jody. Are they going to make Jody turn on Danny in a way that's going to make her turn heel? Or are you going to see Jody Threat go after Indy because she gets jealous that Indy's giving Danny more than Jody was giving Danny, and Jody can't stand that? You could say jealousy. She could still be a face, but then she would just be a jealous face, which would be better to make her heel. I don't know, but this is what we got. Next match. The Rascals versus the Hollywood Hunks. I'm not, that's not the right name, but I am doing it when it comes to the Nimitz. Let me give it to you like this. The match was fine, and the one who ate the pin was I gotta tell you this about Ryan. Do I always feel that Ryan could be more better utilized? Yes. And him screaming, "My big brother," it's fine. But I feel they can do more with him. Not saying he's the greatest actor that exists, no. But I do believe they can do a little bit more with him. And I'm thinking, when it comes to these guys, and they act like the Hollywood Hunks. They feel like they're the most hottest shit there is. And the thing that we get, where they're trying to prove how hot they are, is to be dealing with the hometown man. Because after they lost the match, and because they did lose the match, and it was Wentz who pinned Ryan, because Ryan ate the pin, they didn't want to leave the ring. They were angry that they got cheated. And then you see the hometown man in Rhode Island who is over like stink. I told you. He's over like stink. It's not the point if you like him or not. The point is, he is over. And I gotta say this. I'm glad he is over. Comedic wrestlers are hard to find, guys. I'm telling you right now. Comedic wrestlers are very hard to find. You can't always find someone that can make comedy out of wrestling. You got people usually are good guys, people usually bad guys. But it's rare to find someone that can tote that line because they can become bad or they can be good and switch back and forth. And that's what we got with the hometown man. He's over as a comedic wrestler. Now, did he get his ass handed to him when pretty much the Nimitz couldn't stand him anymore? Yeah. Did he get his mask ripped off and you could tell it's Cody but his face like that? Yes, but we didn't see his face. And you could tell they want to keep the story going of him as a hometown man because you saw security running there for a towel over his head. And then you get two people super kicked by a Nick. Yeah, of course, when you see the Rascals come out to save him and give him back his mask. But you can tell they are invested in keeping Cody Deaner as the hometown man. He is over. And I know not many people have even said they don't like his gimmick. I haven't seen anybody yet. But right now, just in case you don't like it, it doesn't matter. It's over. It's comedic enough. It does have some laughs to it. And it's good to see a company have him. Next. What do I want to say about Marshall Slamovich versus a JC James? It made sense. Was it great sense? No. But they wanted to protect Marshall Slamovich. I want to make this clear. The match itself was fine. Even if people don't like JC James saying that she's not good enough in the ring, she's not great talker, she's not good. She's good enough to get it done. She's good enough to talk. She's good enough to get it done. And that's what many wrestlers strive for. To get to the next gear is another thing entirely. But she does a very good job of just getting it done. You can always rely on her getting it done. She rarely botches in the ring. Not saying she hasn't. She doesn't talk bad. And she doesn't botch much in talking. Very rare that she does. And I can buy her as champ. But knowing that Ash wanted to make definitely sure Marsha didn't get that title back because she wanted to make definitely sure she was not going to have an issue dealing with Marsha, and then screws her out of that title chance and DQs the match. And what do we get? JC happy with the titles in the arms. You get Santino in the back with them, and he's angry as stink, saying, "How dare you do that?" And he says, "Because of what you've done, you're going to have your match next week against JC James. And whoever wins goes up against March because she screwed." He said, "Fine." But then, no Elegance brand by ringside. Now, does that mean the concierge is not going to be there? I didn't hear that. It's just the Ashes. M and Heather not, but the concierge, I believe he will be there. I could be wrong. You guys tell me below. It was all right. Now, here's where it gets interesting. We had three segments. Two in the outside and one vid pack. Well, technically, we only had two segments and one vid pack. Well, technically. We had two segments and two vid packs. I take that back. It is four things, and we got two segments in the ring. First one, that was the Ali celebration where you got Joe Henry messing with a John Skyler, making the wrestling buddy looking, Wrestle Buddy or Wrestle Ben Buddy. I can't remember right now what they call it. But it wasn't bad. And if you didn't notice on NXT, you did see Joe Henry appearing spontaneously on their show. So they're invested on doing something with Joe. So we're going to have Joe deal with Ali. The question's going to be, what does that really give Joe? Ali is fine right now. He can actually do a faction war if he needs to against either the System, First Class, or even Dark State. I'm not saying that's a wise thing to, but you can't. But Joe, they need to do something with him. He's not lost anything, but the question is right now, will they turn him heel? Does he need to turn heel yet? Where do you want to put him? I don't know. This will be interesting to see where they're going to book for the next couple of weeks. Because I do believe he's going to face him at Emergence. I could be wrong. I don't think it's going to be next week. It'll be Emergence. Now, Mara Sade. Let's make this very clear. If you didn't like Miss Jackson, if you want you, back in NXT, you're not going to like her here because she's not much different. But I will say this. I'm glad they showed a vignette of her and explaining what she can do. It was necessary. If this girl is going to be working with TNA, they needed to do a vid pack like Indy Hartwell. It was necessary. They needed it. And I'm glad they did it. The question's going to be, and this is the biggest question, she was in NXT for 3 years. I say 2 or 3 years easily. But she never really got very far. Next to getting injured, yes, she did. She broke her hand. And then she was basically a manager at one point until she was working with Lash Legend as her tag partner. She had been on her own. And not even at all. So this will be the first time it's just going to be about her. Yes, the girl is gorgeous. Let's make it very clear. The girl, whatever she does, she can do pretty well. If she wanted to be a model, she wanted to do bodybuilding, she wanted to do other sports, which she did, she can do it. But the question is, can she do more than what she did in NXT? And can they write for her? Because technically they never did on NXT. She was always in a group. They never really wrote anything for her. So now this is on her to up her game. Because right now I know she can wrestle okay. She can talk okay. She did very well talking. But now she's going to have to show what she can do. Like Trick Williams. Like I said it before, when 2 years ago, when I saw Trick Williams, when he was working with Carmelo Hayes, I knew he's got the look, he's got the gift for gab, but he now needs to prove himself not only in the ring, because I really didn't watch him much in the ring, but also show that when he's on his own, he can be something. So the question's going to be, if creative gives her something, can she run with it? That's going to be the question. I'm not going to say she's going to be bad or good. We just got to watch and see. The next vid pack was the interview with Sami Callihan with Tom, asking what's the deal, what's going on. And when he talked about having bulimia, this is Sami Callihan. He said he used to be extremely heavy. He used to have bulimia. I'm like, he's done very well for himself to fight that. That's hard to do. It's like anorexia. I'm not saying they're both the same. But when you got something like that, it's so hard to mentally be able to really care about yourself. Both of them are two different situations, but they kind of need the same thing when it comes to the mental faculties. And knowing that he could fight it, and he succeeded and made something of himself, was important. Knowing after he broke his leg, he gained 60 pounds, and he hasn't been the same, which is true. And knowing that, and it is true, he's been working in the back. Next to going in the ring, he's been working in the back. And now he's questioning, should he continue, because he's wondering if he's a death machine. That story is a good one to see. And now, we got him wanting to go to Emergence, face a friend that he trusts, and a Mike Santana, which I'll talk about in a minute, in his promo. And wanting to know, can he still go? If he can beat the current franchise player of TNA, then he may have a redemption arc of losing weight and trying to make something out of himself again. If he loses, he may put his boots in the middle of the ring and just walk away and just work in the back. Technically, right now, I don't want to know any spoilers if he's already revealed it. I want to make this clear. Can you hear me? I had to do that just so you hear me. I don't want to know if it's already been reported that he's retiring. Don't want to hear it. Do not leave me a comment that you've heard that he's retiring. Do not do it. I will be angry at you. Don't. I don't need to know if he's going to retire or not. I'd rather guess. There you go. So leave it at that. But if he's retiring, or if he's going to be going forward, it's going to be good. Do I believe he can win against Santana? Well, let's get into the promo that Santana gave. And it was, and I got to say this, Santana doesn't cut great promos. He cuts good promos. But I really believe that this is one of the great promos that he's cut. Because he really meant what he said. He failed, of course, that's part of the story. But when he talked about his daughter and talked about, as upset as he was, he saw his daughter crying. He had to stop being a wrestler and being a dad. And he went to his daughter to console her, and she said, he told her, I'm sorry I lost. And he said, don't worry, Daddy, you're going to get him back. You will get him back. And that meant to him more than anything. And next to cursing in the ring, he made it very clear to everybody, like he said to his daughter, he's going to get that title. So the rise for a Mike Santana is still going on. And I'm glad to see it. He's not like this. He's here. He went to Slammiversary, got here. And now he's going like this. So if they are going to give him the title, they decided, if they are, it's going to be at Bound for Glory, where they can really let him have that moment. A real moment where it can really put him over. And that'll be a great thing. I'm hoping that's where it's leading. But it's still a long time. We still got until October 12th, so you never know. What is the last one? Did I cover everything? I believe I did. That's it. So, the last match of the night. Let me give it to you like this. Did I need to see a tag match between the System and First Class Trick's First Class? No. I kind of wish there was a segment more than I wanted a match. Now, Casey Navarro was not supposed to be cleared, so he had to go down to the ring on crutches, but he still interfered. He tried to make things right. And he nailed Trick in the shoulder, which allowed I believe it was Moose, who got the pin by spearing Trick through his boots. So we get Moose getting a win on Trick. We get KC, who's already in hot water with AJ Francis because he was not happy to hear that his knee is messed up. And he just messed up Trick Williams, which now gives Moose even more momentum going into the next pay-per-views. Well, technically, they may start something at Emergence, but I believe they're going to go to Bound for Glory for this. I'm hoping that's where it's going. I'm going to give you this. This was good storytelling. It was not perfect. It was good. But the question is, with good storytelling, will we get a good payout? Now, when you look at AEW, and understand, and I say this again, I do not hate AEW. I still love it. But the booking is bad. It makes no sense. Here the booking was good, and it gives us questions. And I wish Tony would understand what he's doing, because this booking is not making any sense. But when you look at here, TNA, the booking may not be perfect. I do not always agree with everything. But at this time, at this moment, the booking has been good. I actually care more about the booking from TNA than I have been from SmackDown. And I did see most of Raw, which was not bad, but you wonder when they go into SummerSlam, can they really make something out of it? Because let's be honest here. When you look at SummerSlam and a 2-night special, yes, people are going to go crazy over it. But what are we really getting? We're getting very little in storytelling. The same people in the same spots over and over again. That's what we're getting in SummerSlam. And Forbidden Door, we're getting erratic type of booking. And TNA going into Bound for Glory, they're not giving us great booking, but they are giving us good enough booking that you can understand it. And to a certain extent like it, even though you may be questioning how long they can do it. But it's just me. Peace.